Hello, and welcome to another episode of Explicit Materia, the podcast where a drumming nerd talks to his friends about whatever the hell he wants to. Please take a moment to subscribe and rate the podcast on iTunes. If you do, in fact, listen to it on Apple Podcasts app or whatever, I know that app is terrible, and I'm sorry. I told them. I sent them an email. Whatever they updated it with, it's completely and utter. It's terrible. It's the worst. I'm sorry. Let's see. Follow my Instagram at WiseDrums, YouTube.com/WiseDrums, my Twitter at TheWiseDrums, and be sure to follow the Explicit Materia Facebook page for clips and updates for the podcast. Well, guess what, guys? We have some straight nerd talk for you this episode. Finally, get back into the nerd stuff. I love it. Making his triumphant return is Levi Fleener. We talk video games. Yay! Video games. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Destiny 2, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Stranger Things, the Season 2 of Stranger Things, Game of Thrones, True Detective, and, like always, we veer into something that has nothing to do with the original topics. Example being Tom Delonge's appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast talking about his work with government officials and planning to kind of sort of make alien disclosure finally a reality. Yeah, y'all should check that out when you have a moment. Joe Rogan's podcast. It's a pretty interesting little listen to. And we also talk about UFC 217, and this was recorded obviously on, I think it was recorded on Thursday, so it's Sunday now, so we all know what happens, but here we are. Anyway, let's do this. Yeah. Dude, remember freaking Offspring?
Oh, yeah.
What's up, bro?
Not a whole lot, man.
What you been doing?
Dude, working, living the dream, playing video games.
Yeah? What games you been playing?
Well, I just got Destiny.
Destiny 2?
Yeah, Destiny 2.
Is it as good as everyone is freaking out about?
It's the same as the first one. I knew when I bought it I shouldn't have, because I get bored with it so quick because it's so repetitive, grindy. Once you complete the mission, then it's like, oh, I got to grind for better gear. Oh, I'm gonna do a raid. It gets so boring.
Really?
Yeah.
But
I just don't have time for it. I knew it was going to be that way, so I can't complain about it. That's what the game is.
Isn't it? But yeah, isn't that what the game is?
Yeah, that's what the game is. So I can't give it a crap. It's fun to play, I
never get into the Destiny or the... Yeah, I never got
into...
What was
the one that came out on PlayStation a while back? It might have been on Xbox too. The Tom Clancy...
Oh, the Division. The
Yeah.
Division. I was kind of interested in the Division because it was a third-person perspective, and I was like, "That's interesting," because I like third-person.
But it's still the same.
Is it still?
Yeah, it's the same.
Still loot, and still like the story mode is lacking usually.
The story mode it's just there. You know what I mean? So it's fun though. I mean, playing with friends, it's a blast. Time waster.
Dude, I've been playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and it's so fucking fun.
I played the first one. It's a blast.
It's so fun. The first one's a blast, and the second one's kind of basically more of the same.
Yeah.
Except for just gradual improvements, like the home base, is a lot bigger, and it's actually it's more or less like a town.
There. Yeah.
Yeah. There's tons more quests to do.
Do you get into the player versus player combat in there? You do that a lot?
No, I don't, because I'm not really that great at fighting games, and I don't want to be reminded of that.
Yeah. Now, that's like, combat games like that are the most infuriating when you're getting your ass kicked. Like, I came home one time, and my roommate was playing Mortal Kombat when MKX came out.
Oh, yeah,
and
MKX.
Dude, I walked in the door to him smashing the controller on the table, because he was getting ass kicked like 3-4 times in a row. He's like, I'm done.
I can't. No, I don't want to do that.
It's like, all right, dude, you're going to buy a new controller, because that's...
that's so...
Why are you doing that to yourself?
Yeah, that's why I don't like playing, because there are better gamers out there.
Yeah.
And
they're a lot younger, which usually pisses you off. Because once you get older, your gaming, you know, it just slips a little bit.
Well, because you start to, you know, you have a job, you have a family, you have more important things.
You're not on there 10 hours a day after school, just saying fuck it to homework. you
Right. And that's basically why I kind of stick to single player campaigns too. Because
Yeah.
I can't imagine like trying to get a party together to, even if you're doing a cooperative quest. Like I can't imagine trying to get a party together at this specific time. Because what if someone lives in New York and has to, say, hey, we're going to get together at 6:30, be online.
Oh, I'm still working there.
Well, I'm still working. It's like, when time do you work? 8:30. But we're going at 6. Like, no, but it's 8 o'clock in New York and not in Nashville. It's like,
Yeah.
that would just drive me insane. It's just,
You Call of Duty fan?
No.
Call of Duty came out.
No, I'm not a big shooter fan. I think the last shooter I played was Halo. And that drove me insane.
Oh yeah,
that was just Halo.
Dude, that was when split screen was king, dude.
No, but Halo 2, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that's when Halo 2, like, was it Halo 2 or was it Halo 3? I can't remember when that hit. Was it Halo 2 that was first multiplayer online?
I believe it was 2.
Yeah. So
because the first one you were connecting to someone else's Xbox, doing 2 TVs in a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the good old days.
Yeah, and that's what we did, and it was a lot of
Looking
fun.
at someone else's screen, like, oh, he's over there. All right.
But even then, it just pissed me off to no end because you're just playing with 12-year-olds that are just amazing.
Yeah,
and that's all they do.
You're like, suck it. You're
Yeah,
like,
God, dang it, I should suck it.
Yeah, I'm terrible. God, it's
I deserve
the worst,
to suck.
man. Getting beat by some young kid, and he's like, you suck. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
It's the worst, man. Yeah. Because that kid wouldn't say that to you to your face.
No. You just go punch his dad and then him.
You drive to his dad's house, knock on the door, the guy opens up.
What'd you hit me for? Your son's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is.
let me go hit him.
It's a cycle of violence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cycle of
just gotta
family
keep
violence.
it going.
But anyway, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is awesome. The character customization is a little bit better.
Yeah.
You can go Super Saiyan 3.
So they got new movesets, new Super Saiyan sets.
Yeah.
Because before it was just, I think Super Saiyan 2 is all you got. So they got 3.
Mm-hmm. And what I really like about it, and I think at this point in our lives, Dragon Ball Z has gone on for so long, and the same actors have been voicing those people for so long. Like, whenever they do voiceovers for Dragon Ball Z stuff,
You can just tell.
you can
When
you
it's
can tell
not them.
that. Well, yeah, you can tell it's not them, but it is them. But you can also tell they're having so much fun with it still.
Yeah.
When you get a trainer, when you pick one, you can pick like Piccolo or Gohan or I picked Vegeta because he's fucking badass.
Yeah, you got to pick Vegeta.
You got to pick Vegeta. And so every time that you beat something and get a S rating or a Z rating or something like that, he will compliment you or say, you got to do better. Or something. My favorite line that he says after you beat a mission or whatever, he's like, you get an S rating. He says, wow, you're the best. Almost.
It's like, not as good as me, though. Not as good as me. So, I've only when the first one, I played the first one, it was, you would go and play, like, through certain time events of the storyline. Mm-hmm. Is it kind of the same way with the new one?
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's time patrolling.
Okay.
You're
I
messing
wish they
with...
would create, like, a new story with your character as the lead. Like, incorporate him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Actually,
like create a
if
new
you
storyline. I think that would be really
transfer your data over from the original Xenoverse, your character from the original Xenoverse makes an appearance,
Really?
and he's actually a part of the storyline.
Well, now I might want to play.
Yeah, and then I'm like, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a really cool addition. That and it feels like a Dragon Ball story.
Because I know they like to keep it canon and everything with not creating anything new and outside the box.
Be careful.
I just wish they would just go way outside the box and create something completely new. New villain.
I think they're doing that with the new fighter game they're coming out with.
Really?
The Dragon Ball Fighter-Z. Have you seen any footage of that? Dude,
not at all.
It looks insanity. The like animation that they use, I mean, it is incredible. And it's 2.5D. It's not all the way 3D like Xenoverse is.
Okay.
So here I need
But
to...
they're not just doing like side view like Mortal Kombat. They're kind of keeping it
where
you can move around in an arena.
Yeah.
Or...
Here's like a little bit of gameplay for you. I'm going to show it to you. Oh, we're going to watch an ad first for what 30.
There's no ad playing right now.
There's no ad playing, but
this
anyway,
is ad-free podcast.
I don't know when it's going to come out, but yeah, it's 2.5D.
Okay.
So it's sort of 3D, but not really. But it makes it look more like a Dragon Ball Z. You're actually watching a Dragon Ball Z thing.
Show.
Yeah. And it's the best looking Dragon Ball Z thing I think I've ever seen. Here, let me give you a little
taste.
A little taste.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, isn't that great?
I love the animation. Reminds me of a little Capcom versus Marvel type, a little bit, yeah.
And so, what I think what's going to end up happening is they are going to definitely enter this game into like tournaments, and it's going to become like one of the new esports thing. Which, by the way, I'm seeing a lot of lately.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't watched any of it because I don't know why. I should watch it, but I don't.
It's hard watching someone else play a game when I'm like, I got stuff to do.
But see how it switches in views and it looks like it's part of the cartoon?
Yeah, this takes it back to like PlayStation days, dude. When
yeah,
they had all those great fighting games.
Remember Dragon Ball GT?
Oh, yeah.
the original Dragon Ball GT
there was
PS1.
Like a myth back in my day because you could never rent it because it was always gone.
It was always gone.
There was a myth that it was like someone broke into Blockbuster to steal Dragon Ball GT. And it's like, what are you talking about? No one did that. But all the kids were like, yeah, dude, it's never there because someone came in and stole it. It's like, no, someone probably just rented it and never brought it back.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Did you do that?
Oh, yeah.
I think I did that with Twisted Metal. I think that was about it.
Dude, Twisted Metal. Oh, yeah. What a game.
Classic. They don't need to make another one. Every time they do, it's terrible.
We're gonna recreate the
remake a remake.
We're gonna yeah, they would brutalize it if they did in fact make another Twisted Metal.
They can't recapture that. I think those car shooting games are kind of dead in the water.
And they would call it like something. They would call it Twisted Metal Resurrection.
Twisted Metal Black. It's like, okay, so how about just 4 or 3? And just keep it going.
Give it some sort of stupid sub name.
You went Twisted Metal 2 to Twisted Metal Black. Okay. All right.
But yeah, I freaking loved me some Twisted Metal.
Yeah, it's so good. We're another classic games back. So how far are you in Xenoverse?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to sparse my story play. I don't want to all the way, because that was the problem with the first one. I thought I was playing zooming through the story mode so fast that I didn't really check to see everything else.
Unlock everything, and yeah.
And so I'm just taking my time and going through as many trainers as I possibly can. There's a lot more trainers in this game, like to the point it's Dodoria and Bard. Is it Bardic? No, what's his name?
Bardic?
Well, Bardic's probably in the game, maybe. I don't know.
Probably
he hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super fun. The storyline's great. It's starting to, kind of spoiler alert, but it's kind of alluding to the Android saga of
the new Dragon Ball that's out right now.
No, it focuses kind of on Trunks. Like future Trunks is dealing with the fact that he can't change his timeline. Okay. Because when he comes back and Gohan dies because he gets killed by all the androids in the future time.
Yeah.
So it kind of is going through his
Doctor whatever.
Yeah, his emotions when dealing with all that.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't got,
haven't got too far yet.
Trunks might go crazy and be like, screw this, I'm saving Gohan. We'll see what happens. Fuck you guys.
Taking him back with me.
So
those are fun games, man.
They're so fun.
Anything else you've been playing?
Let's see. What did I play before that? I played... What did I play before that? I can't remember. I played through some DLC of Dragon Age Inquisition, the last one, which was cool. It was good. I liked it. It was worth $14. Because a lot of
don't
times,
sound too happy about that, Jake.
no, it was worth $14, but just that amount,
Yeah,
like
nothing more.
$13.99. And I was like, okay, that was worth my $14 to get through the rest of the story and kind of finish it all up and
Play a little more, get back into it for a little bit.
And it's kind of getting me into. I want to get into Fallout 4 again. Fallout 4 is a great game.
Yeah, I need to go back and play some of that DLC because I don't think I downloaded any of the DLC.
Dude, the DLC is great.
Yeah, I think I just spent so much time building a base. It took so long.
I loved building. What a great little thing to put in there. Yeah,
great.
I thought that was a great direction to put the Fallout series because
some people didn't like it, but I was like, dude, rather than just walking around for hours, like now I can actually do something with a little extra time.
Yeah, and especially if you're in the modding community, you can do so much with
PC,
that.
Yeah. I don't know about
PS4. Yeah, Skyrim. I got Skyrim remastered.
Oh, did you?
That's what I was playing before I got
on the
DBZ.
On the new Nintendo.
No, I don't have the Switch yet. I will eventually. Damn it, I will. I'll get it. But PS4 remaster version, and I started playing with the mods, and they're cool because this will be like the 17th time I've played Skyrim.
And about the 17th time they've re-released it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm playing with the mods to basically cheat my way a little because I don't want to spend like 17 hours grinding.
It's like just boost your level up a little bit.
Yeah. And then just leave it there and then just go through all the stuff I didn't. All the new DLC package stuff that comes with the game.
Dude, I haven't played it for years. I don't know what else they've added lately. So, well,
it's got the Dragonborn DLC, and it's got another kind of DLC that I haven't got to yet, and was it something to do with vampires?
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I forget what it is. So
yeah, it's like a new island. Vampires, yeah.
So I finished one DLC part, and then I went to GameStop just on a whim, and I was like, Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I'm going to check it out because I saw images and videos of the new Dragon Ball Fighterz that's going to come out.
Into it.
So it got me into I love me some Dragon Ball Z. I miss me some Dragon Ball Z, so I'll get Xenoverse too, and I fucking love it.
See, that's what I want. Like, I'll watch like a little Gundam, and I'm like, I want a new Gundam game. Like, just give me a mech, go around, shoot some other Gundam. Dude, it has been years since they came out with one of those.
Didn't they come out with what is those? What are those? Those Bandai
Namco. I know what you're talking about. Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors.
I had that one. It doesn't fix it. I see the bug hasn't been tamed yet. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Why don't they come out with another?
It's hard to sell in the U.S. They release a lot in Japan still. They haven't done any like U.S. versions of them.
Are there any games that you want to get that are exciting you right now?
Obviously the big two, Red Dead.
Oh yeah.
That trailer came out last month maybe for just like kind of like a teaser trailer.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen it.
Last week the trailer came out for The Last of Us 2.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
Super stoked about that.
Yeah. What did you think about the trailer?
Still not sure if that's Elle. If not, or Ellie, whatever her name is. But I like the trailer. Kind of gives a little story. Maybe this is where you start. Where's Joel? Is this a new character?
It's garnered some controversy.
Let's hear about it.
Apparently, some people thought it was too violent.
Come on. Come on. It's not violent enough. Like, where was the heads flying, man?
Yeah, I watched the trailer and I was like, you know what I'm trying to do? Me and my wife, I told this to her and she is, yeah, I should stop doing this too. Saying like a lot. I hate myself for saying like. And now that I've mentioned it, everyone's going to focus on me saying like.
Like how many times do you say like?
So I'm going to try and not say like so much.
See, you never should have pointed it out because now
every time that I say it, it's going to drive you crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I watched it and it wasn't as violent as I thought people.
It's a post-apocalyptic realistic type game. I mean,
granted, someone's arm was being broken with a hammer. That's pretty brutal.
I mean, have you seen Misery, where she hobbles him with a sledgehammer, breaks his legs? Like, come on. That was in the 90s, people.
Oh my gosh, that scene, man. God. That still makes me go, ooh.
Oh, she puts the board between his knees and just... You're just like, oh, my knees.
It's his feet.
Oh, his ankles. Yeah,
his ankles. He knocks his ankles and his ankle goes... Ugh.
Yeah, see, so it's not that violent. I mean, it is violent, but it's a mature rated game. Like, this isn't a kid's game.
Yeah, the Sony exec, our favorite person, Jim Ryan.
Oh, Jim Ryan's back. Tim Bob.
Jim Ryan from episode, what was it, 5? Episode 5 of the podcast. Jim Ryan he's defending it. He told GameSpot, he said... Oh my gosh. First of all,
there's no ad here.
There's no ad here. What did he say? Okay. He said, I should never prejudge this, but it will probably be rated 18. I think it's fair to say. And there's that market for those people who like that sort of game. Adults who like that sort of a game. And I think we cater for that.
As they should.
I
mean, your clientele is getting older and younger. So, I mean, you got to make games for that crowd.
Yeah, he says, The Last of Us Part 2, obviously, is a game made by adults to be played by adults.
Yeah. Don't let your children play the game, people.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how that's a legit thing. Like, when I have children... I said, like, God damn it.
What do you mean?
I mean, when I have children... I'm not going to let him play Last of Us or Grand Theft Auto.
Now he can get a Nintendo game. That's what Nintendo's for. Give it to your kids. Let them play it out. Play some old games. Like my brother, he lets his kid play Call of Duty, but he doesn't play the campaign. He just plays against bots. And when he goes online, he mutes everybody in the chat. Because if you get online, people are going to be cussing, all this stuff. And he's, 11, so he's getting to that age where eventually he's going to be listening to all that crap. So
yeah, at what age do you just let him listen?
I don't know, but there's sometimes when you're playing online and you hear someone with their kid in the background. It's like, dude, that kid's like 5 years old, and you're ripping heads off on the TV. Like, I don't mean a hypocrite. I was playing Mortal Kombat at like age 7, so
yeah.
But I'm not a serial killer.
That's true.
That you know of.
Yeah, that's true, because I had a conversation with Soren, and we had talked about violence and if it really makes kids more violent. Video games, rather. Like violent video games.
It hasn't made me more violent.
Yeah, or me.
No.
I've never been in a fight in my life.
No. Been in one in junior high, and that was it.
And yeah, Mortal Kombat was the most violent game
in my time. Rip people's spines from their body and, spit lava down their throat.
Yeah, or turn into a dragon and eat them.
Yeah.
Animality.
Was it friendship? Or babality was the other one?
Babality.
This is a great game.
Those moves were impossible to pull off, though.
You'd have to print off from like Cheat Code Center or whatever, just print off like 18 pages of all their move sets, all the babalities.
It's up, down, A, B, up, left, up, down, select, start.
You're fighting against your buddy, you're like, hold on, don't do anything yet. Pause the game before your fatality.
But I do remember going to a buddy's house, and he said he was doing the babalities.
Yeah.
And so we all went to his house after school
and
we watched him do it, and he couldn't do it for a couple times, and it kind of was lame. But eventually he got it.
Going over to his house to watch him do babalities, so I don't know if that was going to be super exciting in the first place.
Hey, it was the 90s, okay?
Yeah, there wasn't much to do. I get it.
We didn't have iPhones or iPads back then.
Yep.
That was exciting to us.
So when someone had GoldenEye, you'd go over there and play.
Oh man, GoldenEye.
And now it's terrible. Have you ever tried to play it? I see you got it over there.
Yeah, it's sitting over there.
Plug that in and go try and play that. You're gonna hate yourself.
It's still got the tag on it, $7.99 used.
Really?
Yeah. I wonder if that is rare. I always like. God damn it! I said like again. I always wonder if any of those games that I have raised in value.
Yeah, I lost mine. I had the only one that was of value was Suikoden.
Yeah,
I had 1 and 2.
I have both of those.
Those are like. Now you got me saying those are like $200. Oh my gosh, those are $200.
But we actually had this conversation, me and Ashley. Dang it! How do you?
We're canceling the podcast. The show's over. Sponsored by Like.
How? What ends up happening is you are trying to find different adjectives to describe something, but like
Describes everything.
describes everything,
Yeah.
and it keeps you from quoting something that would be otherwise incorrect. By you saying it's $200 instead of it's like $200.
Well, because it's not exactly 200. It's around there.
There is one way you can avert that. You can say roughly. It's roughly $200. It's about $200.
It's like $200.
But it's so easy to say like.
It goes so naturally.
Yeah. So anyway, what was it? We got up.
Sponsored by Hooked on Phonics.
We can't talk good. We can't talk good. But yeah, I finally got that Super Nintendo Classic. So that's a limited edition item that maybe in the future might raise in value.
What games has got on there? See a little Star Fox 2.
Star Fox 1 and 2, Street Fighter, F-Zero.
Oh no, it has
Zelda,
Kirby?
Super Mario World,
Kirby's on there?
It's
That was
got
my
like
jam back in the day.
damn it. It's got roughly 8 Kirby games.
8?
Yeah.
I only need 2. I need to borrow that for a little bit.
Yeah. It's great. It's a great little piece of equipment made by Nintendo.
Yeah, that's perfect for going like to the holidays
Yeah.
and bringing it over, getting some family to play.
Yeah. Ash has played it more than me.
Really?
Yeah. She's been playing Super Mario and she is really good at it. I am not good at Super Mario, to tell you the truth.
Not Super Mario World.
Super Mario World.
Yeah. Give me the first one. I'll play that all day.
The original Nintendo version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah. Super Punch Out, man. I forgot how
had that
freaking
game.
fun that game is.
So good. The
That
Bald
game.
Bull.
Bald Bull.
Who else
Gabby
is on there?
J.
Is Sandman still in that one?
I don't think I've gotten to Sandman yet.
My uncle had the code for Mike Tyson because he played it so much as a kid.
What was the code?
I don't remember it now, but you could go into the password screen and add it there.
Oh, the password to get to.
Yeah, and it just take you right to Mike Tyson, and then you go fight him and get your ass kicked.
There's a specific way to destroy Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I never found that out.
Yeah, and I've never beaten. I think I've beaten Punch Out. I think so. I can't remember.
I've beaten Super Punch Out.
Super Punch Out, not regular Punch Out.
No.
Sorry, I think I've beaten Super Punch Out years ago.
Yeah,
But if I try to if I try to do it again, that's another thing. When we were doing that Let's Play, that isn't out yet. I'm currently editing it. But what I quickly found out about those old games is that they're super freaking hard.
Oh, dude, super hard. There was Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Goblins.
Oh, forget about it. We didn't even touch it.
It's such a fun game though. Like that, we played that. Me and my old roommate would hook up the old Nintendo, play that for hours, just see who get the furthest, and it was brutal.
But that's what was so fun about those games back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the menu screen, it has this nice little ditty, like
With
little
the great
piece of music. Oh man,
8-bit.
it's a 16-bit, which makes it more
Super Nintendo?
Yeah,
or?
it's like a 16-bit,
Okay.
a little music interlude kind of intro thing.
Great music. Donkey Kong Country's over there.
Yeah, dude, it's great, and it's so tiny. It fits in it literally
How
fits in
long's the length of the cable? For
cables
the controller?
are a little bit longer than the Nintendo Classic
'Cause
version.
I heard that was a bit of a.
But it's still a cable.
Yeah.
There's no wireless. You have to buy a wireless one event. I hear so.
At least they have it. At least you can go out and get one.
Yeah, but it's not a big issue for me.
No.
I'll just because that kind of ruins this nostalgia.
You go old school. You sit in front of the TV on the ground.
Yeah,
and that you just get neck problems.
And what I really like about it is that they did a really good job of upscaling to HDMI, and so it seems seamless. And it doesn't seem blocky, and it's
Is there do they have like a border, or does it just go full?
I think you can do either full or border.
Okay.
Yeah, we chose border, and you can choose different borders. There's like a speaker one, and there's Tron. Looks like the backdrop of Tron, and there's all sorts of different ones. But it's a cool little machine and well worth $80. I will say.
I was thinking about getting one, but I might have to now that I've seen it. Might have to go get one.
Yeah. It was a lot easier this time around to get one because they did a smart thing and not release them online for online sales. Smart.
Yeah, where they have to save them.
Well, they have to sell them in store. You have to get them in the store.
Okay.
And a lot of stores limit one per customer, which is also super smart.
Well, I know there was that thing with the old Nintendo Classic where they didn't give as many, like purposefully.
Yeah.
So well, they didn't run out, and they would the hype would build back up, and then they'd sell more.
Well, they did it in preparation for the Switch to be launched.
Yeah.
They wanted people to get excited about old Nintendo games because on the Switch you can buy old Nintendo games and play them on the Switch. And they didn't realize how big of a hit
it was going to
be.
Yeah, like I would have bought that and the Switch.
Yeah.
Just give me a bunch of them. So what'd you think of Tom DeLonge?
Oh, you listened to that podcast?
I listened to a little bit of it. Like most Joe Rogan shows, I never get to the end. But
yeah,
he went off, man.
Dude, it was it was very interesting.
Yeah,
to say the least.
You could say that.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, Tom DeLonge, ex-lead singer, or they both sang, him and Mark, right?
Yeah.
One of the singers from Blink-182.
But most notably the front man.
Yeah. He quit the band years ago to pursue aliens.
And the search of extraterrestrial life.
Yes, he did, and that's legit. He legit did that. And so
that I respect him for. He's not on there like he didn't lose his mind.
He doesn't seem crazy.
No.
He seems like
he's into it. He's deep into it.
Super obsessed with it.
Yes.
But the things that he said, let me just tell you the things that he had said in the podcast.
Well, he talked about time travel.
Yes.
He talked about, well, the crazy thing is he's got actually a lot of people from, CIA, Department of Security that are
so he says,
with him. So there's some pretty crazy stuff
in the podcast. You guys need to really, if you guys are into Blink-182 or Dom. Or
podcasts in general, check out Joe Rogan.
Tom DeLonge. I can't remember which episode it was, but it was last week. So, Tom DeLonge said he met with some former top secret individuals because his fictional book about aliens that he released apparently was incredibly accurate.
Too close to home.
Yeah, and he met with an official at a restaurant who he can't name, which is frustrating.
Like a lot of the sources.
Right. And it's just, how do you expect us to believe you when you say, I can't tell you this guy's name?
Yeah.
I know you're Tom DeLonge, and it sounds like what you're trying to do is make me buy your book.
Yeah, exactly. See, and I love conspiracy stuff. I listen to Coast to Coast all the time. It's like 98% fiction and then 2% truth.
Yeah. But it's hard to decipher what is true.
Yeah. I mean, he's all in it. What else?
It sounds like he really truly believes in what he has seen and what he has said and the people that he's met with. My biggest worry, honestly, is not that he's lying, but that the people that he's met with are taking advantage of him because he's a big rock star.
Yeah. He's
got money.
Yeah. Well, he's got people on. Have you been to his website?
I haven't, actually.
I checked it out this morning. He's got some people on there that are on the team that are pretty big.
Pretty legit?
Yeah, like the guy that started remote viewing back in 60s or 70s. And that stuff's pretty legit.
Is that legit?
I read
Wow.
a few books about it, and they did it pretty heavily in the Cold War, where they would, kind of get someone asleep, almost asleep, and they'd give them latitude, longitude codes, and the person would try to visualize maybe a secret Russian base, and they would actually take that information down and have it.
Was it truthful?
He would see, yeah.
No shit.
It's pretty crazy. The remote viewing stuff's pretty out there. It's cool.
That's cool.
So, I mean, I'm a conspiracy guy and come to it a little bit, but I'm no Eddie Bravo. I'm not out there losing my damn mind.
Flat Earth.
Yeah.
Flat Earth, man. Oh, I wish Joe would have asked him about the flat Earth.
Yeah.
How awesome would that be?
It seems to me, though, that he would, because he seemed like he knew some, physics and stuff like that. I don't know if he'd be flat earthing it.
Yeah. If he
Maybe
believes
he didn't
aliens,
ask him.
if he believes aliens exist, then he's got to believe that the world is round. Because planets.
True. Yeah. Yeah. A bunch of the flat Earth stuff is a lot of people backing it are biblical stuff too.
Is it really? Yeah. Is it the creationist kind of stuff?
Yeah, a little bit. Not all of it, but a lot of it is.
Yeah. What a weird thing to be about. I actually talked about it a little bit with my buddy Christian in the last podcast because he's into conspiracies too.
Mm-hmm.
He's just fascinated by them.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, why? I said like, he was just aghast by
it's crazy,
what a
man.
weird thing to be all about.
It's crazy. Like, I don't understand. Just, you look at all the YouTube channels that talk about it. They're all young kids.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the person. You can't check out their history if they've done, been to school, all the stuff. You know what I mean?
You can't check their credentials.
Yeah, you can't check anything.
Yeah. And people just believe it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I said all of that is a symptom of people being lied to by their government, their officials,
their school.
They look at the news and like, Trump's in the office and Hillary Clinton is terrible and
you just can't trust anything.
You can't trust anybody. Government files keep leaking and they're all lying to you. And so I think a lot of people are just walking outside their door and going, is the Earth flat?
I've been lied to so much. I don't know what the fuck the truth is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so they're taking the time out of their day to maybe research some other theories that they've been told in school that, hey, maybe
it is.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. With my own two eyes, I see what I see.
I see the sun disappear over the horizon. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a fucking idiot.
But then,
maybe you can fall off the edge of the earth.
But then I say, it takes a really good amount of good science, a lot of hard work into researching physics and science and mathematics to really understand why the Earth is round.
Yeah.
Because at a certain level, real deal scientists and physicists...
Hundreds of years of research would have to be lies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
We go from flat Earth to round Earth back to flat Earth. I don't know.
And you can do the research yourself, but a lot of people don't want to put that amount of work in because...
Well, and then you get into confirmation bias where you're searching up the same things. And,
right.
Because I think this, let me go check this out. Oh, it agrees with me.
Yeah.
So
it's just... That's what I think. I think people are just hitting the reset button on a lot of this shit. And they're just... I'll see what I see what I see, and I believe only what I see.
Yeah, I don't. Tom DeLonge, whatever. He's into it. He believes it. Whatever.
It could be true.
It could be true.
What if it's true? Okay,
Look,
he said
the universe is infinite, and there's infinite possibilities. So
he said, "I will say this though. Did you listen?
He is trying to sell his book. That's for sure.
He did. It's in the book.
It's in the book. I can't tell you about it. It's top secret. It's in the book.
I love that Joe kind of called him out on that too.
Well, that's the huge thing. Like, listen to Coast to Coast. They'll do that all the time.
They call him out.
Well, no, they're it's in the book.
It's in the book. Okay.
It's in my book series, The Walkers. Check it out.
Yeah, that stuff kind of bums me out a little bit.
And the fact that they went right into it from the start of the podcast. It'd have been one thing if it would have kind of lead it in, but it was like from the get-go, we're talking about this.
Well, that's the whole reason why people wanted to listen to that podcast in the first place, because not a lot of people have heard from Tom DeLonge in years. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he pops up on one of the biggest podcasts in the world.
Well, the biggest,
and he's talking about aliens. And there's this part. Did you listen to the part where Tom went over to Jamie's desk to look up something?
That's where I stopped.
Okay.
And I knew they pulled up some videos, and Joe was like, these are fake.
Yeah.
So I just spit everywhere.
It's all right. It's on my face.
Yeah.
It's on my face.
That.
Yeah. So the video part of it is hilarious because you can hear kind of what Joe is like whispering something to Jamie.
Yeah.
And on the video, they're just eyeing each other as Tom is busy looking up stuff.
And they're like, are they really?
You got to look at this. You got to watch this because this is hilarious.
See, it's so, like, you know when stuff's just cringy?
The TR3B, Astra TR3B.
Yeah, this is where I stopped.
And I'll walk over there. Can I walk over there for a second? I'll show them which one it is. You'll be able to see it. We'll put it up on the screen.
Jamie's smiling.
So for those listening, Joe Rogan is looking at Red Band.
It's not Red Band, it's Jamie.
Jamie. Red Band's gone. And they're just giving each other the look like, this guy's crazy. Dude, I mean it. And he's so focused he doesn't even know that it's happening. And they're just like, oh my, is this happening right now?
The vast majority of the people just listen to this show.
Dude. And then they pulled up the videos, and they're just like...
Did you see the videos?
It's like other, UFO stuff where the cameras...
Oh, yeah.
all over the place.
I'm sorry, Tom, but that is fake as shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's either CG... It's totally CG. I play video games every fucking day, and that...
And some of them in the game are more real than
CG... I mean, it's a good CG recreation of a UFO. Did you actually watch the video?
No, I didn't get to it.
Dude.
I got to the first one, then they pulled up some more. Is this the first one they showed?
This is the first one they showed.
I saw the first one.
That one right there? Yeah. And so we're watching one of the videos of the Astra T3RB or whatever.
And he says this is man-made, not...
This is man-made by us.
And you could tell because of the... he said you could tell because of the fins or something.
Yeah, the tail fins. And whenever the camera zooms in on the spaceship... it blurs. Coincidentally.
So they can't get the detail.
Yeah, conveniently blurs in and out of focus as you zoom into the spaceship.
Oh, just an orb happened, apparently.
Up. It's going into warp. It's going into warp. And gone.
I can't believe they weren't just laughing in the studio in his face.
Well, did you hear what Joe said afterwards?
I heard him call it fake.
Yeah, he said, if that was a movie, I want my fucking money back.
I didn't hear that. That's hilarious.
He said, that looks so fake. That looks fake as fuck.
I want my money back.
That's what his words. And
without the hyperdrive or whatever, it could have been, you're like, okay, maybe. But as soon as like just a giant bubble pops up, you're like, what? I'm not, because he's with another guy. I think his name's Bob Lazar.
Yeah, Bob Lazar.
And I've listened to him on Coast to Coast. That dude's also.
But that dude apparently
he's been in some like legit shit, but he's also like the stuff he talks about after that is a little out there. Well,
apparently he got in trouble saying that he updated his resume and said he went to MIT, and in fact he did not.
No, he did not.
And so people, other UFOologists, are calling him out on his bullshit. But it's he is legit intelligent.
Yeah.
Like that guy is that guy's a scientist.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he worked for the government at one point.
And well, it's weird with that stuff because I think you can get so into it that you start believing everything. You know what I mean?
And further along in the podcast, they talk about Bob Lazar, and they talk about Tom had said that Bob Lazar had been working on this new element that they had either discovered from an alien source, or
so it's not an earthly element.
It's something to that effect, I think. So it's a new element in the 90s. Is it unobtainium or something, or palladium or something? Adamantium? I don't know.
I think it's from Avatar or something. Or whatever.
It's the stuff they made Wolverine's claws with.
Okay, I gotcha.
But they had this documentary with Bob Lazar, and he mentions this element called Element 115. And later on in 2010, 2012 or whatever, they announced that they found this element called Element 115.
Really?
Yeah. So how did Bob Lazar know about Element 115?
I think some of it's... See, that's the thing. Some of it could be legit. Like, they may know some people in the know, but there's just so much shit that they just unload on you that you're just like, I can't handle it. I can't.
I want to believe so bad, though.
I think the universe is so big, there's got to be something out there. The question is whether they've been here or not.
I think one of the major theories that I've been playing around with when it comes to aliens is that, I think it's more plausible to think that, well, and not really, but it's a fun theory to think about. Instead of aliens from coming in from outer space, it could be us from future Earth coming in and trying to shape the past.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of Star Trek. I know what you're talking about.
Like it could be us and not the Greys.
Mm-hmm. It could be a spacesuit, bro.
A space what?
The spacesuit. Could be their suit.
Tom brought up
to the atmosphere. Who knows?
Tom said that the Greys that we are all so familiar with are androids.
Oh.
Which would make sense if they're coming from a distant planet. Human bodies probably wouldn't be able to withstand that amount of force for so long. So why wouldn't you have androids go instead?
Yeah, why potentially shot by the people on the land?
I mean, you're already so technologically advanced that you've made androids, and I'm pretty sure you've mastered AI at that point. Yeah. So send the androids to do your dirty work.
Maybe they are androids now.
That's...
They've hit the where technology keeps growing.
Oh, at an exponential rate.
Yeah,
I forget.
Whatever
it's
that's
something
called.
Morgan's law.
Yeah, something.
Morgan Freeman's law.
Well, you get to the technology. Oh, my Morgan Freeman's terrible.
Well, through the wormhole with Morgan Freeman.
Yes.
I used to love that show.
Oh, it's great.
But that show kind of goes over my head a little bit.
Some things, yeah. You're like, okay, I can follow it to a potential point, and then I'm going to go to sleep. This was too much for me.
Morgan Freeman.
And what was the show with the scientist everyone loves? Black guy. You know who I'm talking about.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes. NGT.
Did you know that Neil deGrasse Tyson was Do you know that Neil deGrasse Tyson was a wrestler in college?
Super athletic.
Yeah. And he's I think he's into UFC and stuff. I think he was on Matt Serra's podcast, UFC Unfiltered, with him and Jim Norton.
Really?
Yeah. And he was. I saw a YouTube video of him and Matt Serra teaching each other wrestling moves. And I'm like, that's Neil deGrasse Tyson, the voice of Cosmos now, one of the leading figures is in science and mathematics and biology and all that
everything.
Shit. And he's teaching this dude wrestling moves. It's so. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I mean, it does everything.
Yeah. And he's super smart too, and he doesn't play into conspiracists a lot. He just
a lot of scientists are like, show me evidence, show me facts.
Right.
Well, most scientists, because that's what science is.
Well, he breaks
Give
down
me evidence first, and then
there's a long time podcast with him and Joe Rogan years ago, before Joe Rogan became even more famous for his podcast. It was him, and they were talking about the moon landing, and Joe was giving him some conspiracy theories and what he thought of them. And man, Neil, he just broke them all down. Mm-hmm. He talked about the photos, like the famous photos that are supposedly fake, and he broke down how a camera works, and he described. I can't even describe what he described because it was so smart and so intelligent that it made me go, oh, I guess that makes sense. All right, we did land on the moon. You're right. Thank you for bringing me back down to earth, Neil. And I think that's what we need to do sometimes when we have these lofty
Well, you
ideas.
get so deep into the conspiracy, and then you're like, let me go check something out.
And it
that
is
can bring me
totally,
back.
and it is totally possible too that we could have faked some photos because some didn't work or some were too blurry, and we could have totally faked those. We could have totally went to the moon, and then none of the shit worked, and so we faked the actual pictures to make people like, oh yeah, okay, we
My
went to the
only
moon.
thing is, why haven't we been back? That's the only thing.
Because they're aliens on the moon, bro.
Uh-oh.
I watched a really
Watch out, Tom DeLonge.
yeah, I went. Well, that's one of his things. Like, what is on the moon? That's the whole reason why we.
Haven't been back?
Well, we haven't been back, and that the whole question is confusing, and why the whole conspiracy came in the first place because we didn't want people to actually ask the question, "What's on the moon?" Mm-hmm. We wanted to instead ask, "Did we actually go to the moon?" We'll deal with that instead of questioning what's actually on the moon.
I believe we've been to the moon.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy to really go into if we went on the moon or not.
Yeah, when people start dying, in spaceships to go there, I think we've been there.
And there are a ton of conspiracies on people purposely being killed because they knew too much about the NASA missions.
Oh.
And that's when I get a little, you're dealing with
when you
people's
start
lives
seeing
now.
people get suicide, like, oh, he, shot himself 18 times in the forehead. Suicide. Like,
Yeah. I do remember watching this Netflix documentary about the moon, and I think it's called Conspiracy, actually. And it had clips of this one reporter that kept on questioning every single astronaut if they, in fact, landed on the moon or not. And he at a lot of points, he just accuses them for not landing on the moon. And these astronauts get so pissed at him.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then there's that famous clip of Buzz Aldrin just punching him
that
right
dude?
in the
Oh, yeah, I've
face.
seen that.
Like,
He's like, I've had enough of this bullshit.
I'm 82 fucking years old. I'm gonna take you
Dude,
out.
and that guy was like, oh, God.
It was a good wind up punch
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, those old guys know how to throw a punch.
They've thrown a punch or two. That
Yeah.
dude went into space. All
Yeah.
right, you don't mess with Buzz. You don't mess with any dude named Buzz.
Yeah. To infinity and punch your face.
Buzz or Biff.
Biff. Oh, classic 50s villain. Just a bully.
Whatever happened to Biff, the actor?
I think he's been in some stuff. Probably like some
Has he?
B movies.
He needs to be in more stuff.
Yeah.
That poor guy.
He's probably old as shit now.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, he's the classic, the best villain that's ever been made. Biff.
Yeah.
And what a great name. Biff.
It's just such good movies. I want to go watch one at home tonight.
Yeah. My buddy Jesse Pino was Marty McFly for Halloween. Yeah, and he nailed the costume.
Really?
Like, nailed it.
Life preserver.
Yeah. The oversized coat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where's the self-fitting coats?
No joke. Like, just, it's going to be super long and they're gone.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen.
Self-drying, you press a button, zzz, coat, dry.
I'm sure those will come out eventually, but those will be like, swimsuits, self-drying.
Well, they
Yeah.
came out with those self-lacing shoes. That was big news last
Yeah.
year, or the 2015. And they gave one of the first pairs to Marty McFly
Yeah, I saw
himself.
that. Why would you, if you're too lazy to tie your shoes, something's wrong with you. Just wear slippers at that point.
I'd be worried that it would tie too tight and then cut off the circulation.
I have no foot now. I had to self-tie shoes, and they just took my foot right off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there might be like a comfort level, like your sleep number. It's your shoe lace number.
I wonder if it is different
I'm
levels.
a 17, by the way.
Yeah. I wonder if it is different levels. That would be smart.
I'm sure there is. They have to do that. It can't be like one size fits all.
I don't know. But yeah, Tom and aliens. That either makes me sad or super happy for him, because it's always, you know, at the end of the day, that's always what he's wanted to do, is be in this
he wanted to go into it,
realm. Man. And so he seems super happy about it. So
he's got enough money to do whatever he wants. Go for it.
Yeah. And apparently he's going to make some fictional movies. He's trying to make a company.
So at that point, it's like, well, are you trying to sell stuff now?
Yeah.
Or are you actually trying to get some stuff
Apparently
out?
it's both. Apparently he wants to do both. Well, from what I got out of the interview was that he's trying to disclose the truth about aliens through fiction.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily full disclosure. There's a halfway medium point through fiction, but the fiction is actually the truth. Or there's some semblance.
I've seen a lot of conspiracy like that. Like, oh, there's so many post-apocalyptic things coming out. The government's trying to get us ready for the collapse. All this stuff. Dude, people go into it, man.
So
but it would just have to be too many dots connected. Like, oh, the director is with the government, the actor. It's like, why would there be that so many people involved?
Yeah, I mean, I just, through my past jobs and, you know, every person that has worked above me, you just look at those people and you go, why would you do that? And how would that be any different than our government officials? Mm-hmm. I think them being
like the super secret society.
I don't think people are that freaking smart. No. I really don't. I don't think there's a such thing as an evil genius. I think there are people who they take advantage of situations to suit their needs and interests.
Yeah.
But I think to actually plan something so big and actually pull it off, people would have to be super fearful of you. Or you'd have to do it alone.
Yeah.
That's the only way that it could work. Like, for example, the Vegas shooting that happened. He did that shit alone. You know, but there are, of course, conspiracies saying that he didn't do it alone, that there's a second shooter. But I'm like, dude, it's Vegas, man. I mean,
absolutely crazy, man.
That was crazy. There's so many eyes in Vegas. I just watched the movie Casino recently.
That's so good.
And they're talking about just how many eyes are on that floor.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's any mob left in Vegas?
No, it's all run by corporations.
It's all done now?
It's corporations now.
Yeah.
They're the mobsters now. I don't think it's that brutal anymore.
No, I still think there's mob. I just don't think it's as high level as it was.
No. I think it's largely broken
it's
off.
All underground stuff.
Yeah. And why would you want to be a mobster if you can just build a giant corporation and make even more money?
True.
In a legal way.
Make the mob legal.
Yeah, we'll just be buddy with the government, and, you know,
there's the other conspiracy thing. These people who were bad make it legal, and now they're doing it legally, but they still have different motives.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a conspiracy. I think that's advantageous.
That's just business.
That's just business.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be in the 90s, business and government kind of were secret about it. Like, oh, we're not working with Enron. We're, you know, whatever. And then it kind of came out when Enron did all that shit.
We were working with Enron.
Yeah, it was very obvious that the government officials were a part of Enron. Mm-hmm. And so it's, and now it's just open. And now it's just, we know that there are lobbyists, and we know that there is legal bribery going on.
But they can't do anything about it.
Yeah. So it's I don't know what to do about it, honestly, because it's quote unquote legal.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you want to make millions of dollars?
Yeah. But not at
others' expense
of my morals.
Right. That's in a perfect world.
Everyone else's depends on what your morals are.
Yeah.
Really. Depends on the individual.
Right. I don't know. I listened to this really good debate between the Young Turks, what's his name, Cenk?
I can't say it.
And Ben Shapiro, and it was a really good debate.
Really?
Because, you know, a lot of people don't want to debate Ben Shapiro because, man, that dude
He's quick. He's a quick-witted dude.
Witted, and will break down your argument pretty fast, and you got to be on your toes. And Cenk held his own in there, pretty good actually. So it was a really nice, refreshing battle of ideas, and I enjoyed that.
I just can't get into Young Turks. They've done some
yeah, it's a little weird,
some shady shit.
Yeah,
before,
that's why I'm not full on left and not full on right. I just want to listen to ideas, and if I'll pick and choose, I'm like, that's a good idea, but that's a good idea too. You know what I think? We're kind of verging into politics a little bit, and we'll move away if whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, it don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Let's go ahead and
you know
get
what we
this
should
podcast
do?
canceled.
We should be like, okay, 10 years, we'll do it your way, and after that 10 years is up, we'll pick and choose what works and what doesn't, and then we'll switch and do the right's way. So we'll go left, and then we'll go right, and then we'll see which one works, and we'll go in the middle.
See, that's what we've been doing, though. We go, oh, we'll do 8 years of this. Oh,
but not really,
now it's
though.
8 years of someone else. Let's blame these guys for that stuff. Let's just go 80 years of the same thing and let it burn the country down. And we'll go, let's not do any of that stuff.
But I think, honestly, though, I think it's the way it's supposed to work. We're all supposed to be halfway happy. It's just, just have to live with it.
I'm so tired of it, man. I can't even turn on the news anymore.
It's like an unhappy marriage.
Yeah.
You love her or him, but you're stuck, and so you got to make the best of it.
Oh shit.
I'm talking about unhappy marriages. Not my current marriage.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, shame. We need to talk.
No, we're super. We're super.
Yeah,
bro.
no, it is completely that way. And I just get so sick of it.
I know. I'm sick of going on friggin' Facebook and everyone talking about it.
Oh, if they do, I'm like, and I'm not. You're gone.
I'm just, why?
You're
Guys,
gone.
I understand Trump is terrible. Let's move on. It's a duh.
Yes, it's
duh
done.
now.
We all know. Just get it over with.
Yeah, let's concentrate on 2020.
Yeah.
All right, not talk about it so much.
I'm done with it. 2020, here we come. The Rock.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot we can do about it, really.
No. They can talk about it a lot more for 3 more years.
Yeah, and so get set up with that. I'm just sick of watching it and listening about it. Well, I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
So the next topic
I don't have
before
it.
we get canceled.
Canceled. We're canceled by iTunes.
Well, I'm done. I'm out of here.
iTunes actually calls me. Your podcast is terrible. We're pulling it off. We're pulling it off.
You started talking about politics. We know there's a bunch of politics podcasts, but yours was just absolute garbage.
Nothing was said. You guys are terrible.
Neither of y'all picked a side. We're done.
We need to pick a. You need to pick a side. Damn it.
Nope.
I don't have much else to talk about. It's 2:30. You need to be out of here soon, right?
Yeah, I can keep going a little bit.
A little bit. Is there anything that you would want to talk about before we head out, bro?
Man, not really. I don't got much going on. Yeah, I don't have really anything going on.
I'm watching. You know what I did today? I'll tell you what I did today. I bought my first pay-per-view myself ever.
So we talking
Today.
about bareback beauties.
Is that a pay-per-view?
No.
No. I mean, you paid for it. No, UFC 217.
Really? Was that the GSP?
GSP Bisbing, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Watching it tonight. Yeah.
Damn, I've got little football, college football
College
Saturday,
football?
dude.
You excited?
Oh, yeah. Big game today. Oklahoma State.
Yeah, that's right. You're a big Oklahoma fan.
Mm-hmm.
I never got into college football.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. I can't do NFL.
Okay.
I haven't watched a NFL game for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You're all into that college.
Mm-hmm.
So my buddy Christian in the last podcast said he's not into football at all. I think he told me on the podcast he hasn't watched a single football game.
Really?
He knows of it, but he doesn't watch football. He never came from a football family or anything.
You get it.
And he recently went to a Titans game with his girlfriend and her friend. And his girlfriend didn't tell him that her friend was a big shit talker. And so you've been to live football games
Yeah.
where the animosity and the drunkenness
It's
of
huge.
everybody is 100, and everyone hates everybody. And
Especially when there's alcohol involved.
yeah, and so poor Christian is just looking around. He's like, "Don't you want the game? Don't you? You should like this team for showing up so the game could actually happen." Because if they don't show up, you don't have a football game.
Yeah. People aren't smart. Okay? They just want to drink, yell at the team, theirs or the opponent.
But he really, what he hated most about that experience was in the giant projector screen. He realized that Tennessee doesn't know the difference between Titans and Spartans. Because they would always play clips like every 5 minutes of 300.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I've never been to a Titans game. That's hilarious.
I haven't either. And so that drove him crazy because Titans are gods
Yes.
or more powerful gods.
They were
than-
the fathers of gods.
They're the
pretty
fathers
much.
of gods,
Yes.
right? And Spartans are actual living, breathing people that existed
On Earth,
on Earth.
not fictional.
And so they keep playing Spartans.
That's
and-
great. I didn't know they did that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Well, I guess it's like, oh, it's, it's old. It's old fighters. Titans. Could be playing like Remember the Titans movie clips.
Oh, yeah.
That would probably be good.
Yeah. I think they do, actually.
Yeah.
I hate going to live sporting events.
Now, see, NFL, I understand because I get more on. I can watch it on TV and feel the same. But college sports
Really?
live is so much better.
Really?
So much better.
See, I enjoy commentary too much. I don't know.
I love
why.
it too.
I've gotten used to having that person describe to
There's a
me.
spider right there.
Oh, man, we'll have to kill that motherfucker. It threw me off my game.
Yeah, sorry. I'm like, oh, it's an 8-legged creature.
We'll have to kill it.
But yeah, the college venues are so much better. Some of them don't have drinking. You pregame, you go in there. Fans are a lot more, relaxed. Occasionally, you'll get the drunk dude that's, hey, fuck you, buddy. You suck.
Really? I imagine college kids going crazy
Well,
at college games.
oh, the atmosphere is insane. It's great. I'm just saying, like, if it's not a rivalry game, it's not super.
Oh,
like you're not going to get those belligerent fans.
Okay. Well, that's cool then.
Yeah.
Have you been to a rivalry game?
I'm planning on going next year. Texas, Oklahoma.
Are you gonna beat someone up? You gonna
I'm
get
just
in a
gonna
fist
enjoy the
fight?
game. Enjoy the game, man. It's
But what if some
the
guy-
fans are split at the 50-yard line, so it's Texas one side, Oklahoma the other.
Smart.
So that 50-yard line seating is just. I don't want to sit there.
You know what's crazy is the soccer fans. Soccer fans will kill each other.
Yeah. I don't. It doesn't get any worse than that. I wouldn't. I think it'd be fun to go to a soccer game, but
Would soccer kind of be like hockey? Because hockey games
Hockey's
are a
fun.
lot more fun live than
Yeah.
they are when you watch them. At least to me.
yeah, for sure, it's got to be that way.
Maybe it's because there's always a ball moving. There's no stops. There's no, all right, you reach the 10-yard line, pause, huddle.
Yeah, because
play.
I can't watch hockey on screen. But I love going to hockey games.
Yeah,
it's a blast.
the atmosphere is great. And it's
Dude.
not hot. It's always
No.
inside.
Yeah, you got nice chill ice out there, cooling everything down.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
great.
Especially this last year
That was a
with the
blast.
Predators making it to the Stanley Cup, which, man, good for them,
They
man.
could do it again this year, man. They look pretty good.
They're looking good.
Yeah.
See, I never follow hockey until the last two games.
Yeah.
Same with basketball. I don't follow basketball until
You
the
talking
last
college? You talking NBA?
NBA, NBA, NHL.
Yeah. See, I don't follow college basketball until March Madness comes out.
Yeah.
You get the playoffs.
I used to be
Playoffs.
yeah. I used to be so into sports, but now I've forsaken all of that. And now I'm just super into UFC. That's the only sport I watch and keep
Yeah.
up with. Which
See,
is funny.
I don't really get into anything except college football. Like it. I mean, if we did this at a different time, different day, we could have done this for like 2 hours. But game comes on, I got to be watching on Saturday. But anything else, I'll catch highlights or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not super into anything else except college football.
Yeah, I didn't expect I didn't expect myself to get so into UFC. Especially now, apparently UFC has kind of gone downhill as far as it's been recently bought out by another company, WME, and I believe they own football, I think. I'm not sure, but frickin' can you kill that guy? Did you step on that motherfucker?
Yeah.
We're killing a spider right now, and he died. He did now. Now I don't have to worry about him. Thank you for doing that. Levi, my hero. But yeah, I still think just watching these backstories of these fighters putting everything on the line, it's just so fascinating to me. Yeah. And just they only fight for 15 minutes. 25.
I'm worried about all the stuff coming out with NFL, all the head hits.
Yeah.
Like it's coming for UFC.
Oh yeah.
Because you look
it's
at,
already
especially
started.
if you look at boxers, like old boxers, they're not all there.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
some are pretty bad.
And that's boxing. I mean, you're taking a lot of shots in boxing, whereas UFC, you're taking harder hits. It's a little shorter, might not be taking as many, but you're getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Or choked out. Or you're tapping.
But football would probably be worse though, because
they just take a lot more.
They take a lot more hits, and by bigger dudes.
Yeah.
Because some of those guys are like for example, a quarterback would probably be 205, 5'10".
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But then you're getting hit by a lineman that's like 350.
350, 385 pounds.
Like,
at least in UFC, you're fighting a dude that's your own weight. Yeah. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it. But
it could, but I think eventually some stuff's going to start coming out. And
well, it already kind of has. And
was it CTE?
Yeah, and you can already kind of tell certain fighters are you can usually tell when they get knocked out easier. When fighters you've seen just had an iron chin.
Well, that's what happened. Once you get that first knockout, those guys that have those iron chins, it just starts getting a little
your
easier
brain
every
starts
time.
saying, hey, no more.
Like, dude, your jaw's starting to hurt.
Yeah, your jaw's starting to hurt, and if we don't shut down right now, you're going to die.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it goes to the refs too on when to stop it, because when you start seeing guys just getting
they're starting to stop it a lot faster now. They're starting to get better at that. Except for this the last couple of UFCs when John Jones fought Daniel Cormier, and John just hit him with a brutal left kick, just because John throughout the fight was constantly throwing low kicks to set up to make Daniel see the kick as the kick was coming and lean down to block it low, but he kicked high, and that fucking hit him in the face. His head went this. He was out at that. As soon as that leg hit his head,
his body just wasn't on the ground yet.
Yeah, and then he went down on the ground, and then John, after that, as Daniel was on the ground, just kept on hitting him in the head. And at that point, it was stop the fight. He's done. And man, that was brutal. When you see that, I kind of
there's some of those videos like where the dude, I don't know if he's choking somebody or he's punching a dude, and he's yelling at the ref. He's like, he's out. The ref's not calling it yet.
Yeah, even the fighter is like,
and so
dude, I'm going to kill this guy.
So the fighter's like, well, I got to keep holding it, So this guy calls it.
Yeah.
He's like, look at his hand, Like, dude, the guy's like, oh God. So, I mean, a lot of it, and it's hard. I mean, for the ref, you're calling the final thing. So,
yeah. But they're getting better. Largely, they're getting better. It's getting more professional, and I'm excited to see where UFC takes it. Especially that their deal with Fox is coming up. It's going to be done in this year.
Really?
Yeah. So. It'd be very interesting to see where the UFC goes, because
they got a huge personality right now with McGregor.
Yeah,
and it'd be nice to see someone else step up too.
There is talk that they might go full digital, like Netflix, and just say fuck it. Everyone's be self-contained. Anyway. But if it'll be interesting to see if they can garner as much money as they have been with a TV deal like with Fox and NBC or
Yeah,
whatever.
and that's the other thing with, like, we were talking football earlier. They have these huge deals.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to last, like, because everyone's cutting cords.
Yeah.
So that you'll see, I think all the next deal for a conference is maybe 2024. So I think we'll see then when ESPN
Well, TV will
just starts cutting.
Yeah.
back
Well,
big
I don't
time.
even have cable.
I don't either.
I have PS View, which is
I did.
awesome.
I loved PS View. I had that, and obviously Netflix and HBO. That's the only things I have.
But PS View is literally only for if I just want to have something on in the background and maybe have FX, watch Walking Dead.
Yep.
And, shows like that I don't usually have and don't want to go on the computer to attach to the Google Chrome and have that go there. I'd rather just have
It's
it
like
in
I
one
only
spot.
watch a few shows. I'm not, I don't watch TV all the time. I watch,
Right.
my Netflix, Stranger Things. Still haven't started second season yet.
Oh, dude, it's amazing.
You finished it?
Yeah. If I don't know how they did it, but the writing in the second season is just far superior.
Yeah.
And Stranger
good.
Things 1 is brilliant writing.
So good. Music's great.
Oh man, the music is even better.
Really?
Yeah, it's fantastic. They just knocked it out of the park yet
Everyone's
again.
been telling me to get me. I was like, I need to. She set some time back.
Which is impressive if you really think about it. Stranger Things probably everyone's, and that's what happened. Did you ever watch True Detective?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch season 2?
Yes.
Of course. Unfortunately, we all watched season
We
2.
were all, it couldn't match up. That was first season was just so good.
And it's not even that though. It was just everything was disjointed and just didn't connect
They're trying too
organically
much.
and
Yeah.
tried. It was very trying too hard. But it's amazing that a show like Stranger Things can make a hit, kind of like what True Detective did, and then their second season made it even better.
Really.
And then True Detective did the same thing and failed miserably, which usually happens a lot when you have a breakout hit like that. Because what they're doing, it's kind of like in music where a band comes out with this fucking amazing album and it's incredible and you love it and you love every single song. And then that second album comes out and it's utter dog shit.
And it's a different band playing it. Like when you lose your actors, I think that's a big thing too.
That or your director, which is what happened. The biggest thing that happened, which a lot of blame was placed on this, but it was the writing too. I think it was a lot put on in as far as True Detective. I think a lot of pressure was put on was it not Nick DiPaolo, that's a comedian.
I know here.
Palazzo.
Yeah, Palazzo, something like that.
A lot of pressure was put on him to be brilliant again.
Yeah. Write something just as great.
Yeah. And that, man, I don't see how anyone can do that. Because True Detective Season 1 was his brainchild for like more than a decade or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, they were just trying to make some more money. He should have been like, no, that was it. It'd been better if he had just been like, no.
Did you ever watch The Night Of?
I watched a little bit of it. It was
Dude,
good.
that's a good one.
It's good.
That's a really good HBO, just one and done kind of show.
Well, it was not a remake of a British show.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It's fantastic. But it seems like they're not going to come out with a season 2 of that. It's just one storyline. It's basically
shouldn't,
one giant movie, and I think there should be more of that. Just there you go, one giant movie.
Give me a long, detailed movie.
And I think that's where Game of Thrones season 8, the creators are going to take the last season. That's why they're so short.
Well, this is the last one coming up, right?
The last one's going to come out in 2018 or 19, actually. They're taking a lot
Please
of time.
not 2019, please.
God, jeez, give us Game of Thrones. But if it's amazing, then okay, the wait was worth it. But
I'm just trying not to think about it because I don't want to overhype it and then be let down.
Right, but what they announced that the show was only the last season's only a span 6 episodes, and people were like, "What? That's half a season."
Well, technically, they were going to do. What do they usually do? 10 episodes a season?
Yeah, around
well,
there.
this
8.
last season and the new one coming up were supposed to be one season altogether. So they split it up and added a couple episodes.
Oh, I see what they did.
So,
well, and they also said too, the reason why we did that was it gives us more money to make the episodes more expensive. Really,
Yeah.
put more special CG in there.
well, there's going to be a big battle coming up.
Yeah.
And they say every time they do the dragon, it just costs so much money for the CGI in that.
Right. And so, yeah, that'll be a lot of CGI with a big, huge battle coming up. I mean, if they make it anything like the Lord of the Rings battle, what was it, Return of the King?
All of them are great, dude.
I mean, you watch those battles. I haven't watched them in years, but when I first watched those, I all I could think was, this had to be so expensive.
Yeah. Did you watch the Hobbit when that came out?
No.
It was not as good.
That's what I heard, and that's why I didn't watch it.
Because it was super CGI. Like, they did a lot more prosthetics and stuff in the first trilogy, to where in the new one it was like all CGI. Like, okay.
Yeah. You know, my one criticism of Stranger Things, and this is my one criticism.
Oh, you're allowed to.
I'm allowed one.
Maybe.
All right. Everything else
whatever.
is perfect. The acting, the storyline, the writing,
The music.
Everything is perfect. Except for the monster.
Really?
Well, I'm not talking about season 2. Season 2 and season 1 monsters, they're basically
So
the
you're
same.
not talking about Cthulhu
So
or
if-
whatever?
Huh?
The octopus monster?
Octopus monster. So you saw previews of the octopus monster. Okay.
Yeah, I saw the Thriller trailer, which was amazing.
So that part's cool.
Yeah.
When you actually see the monster close up, and I'm talking about season 1 too, when the monster finally is revealed and
Well, it's hard to do that with a lot of shows that do like,
but
you see the hand of the monster, nothing else, and then they finally reveal. You're like,
But I mean, the show is based in the 80s, right? And they take
Yeah.
a lot of stuff from Alien, and they take a lot of stuff from old 80s monster movies. Why the hell would you have the monster be completely CG? Why would you not, for close-up shots of the monster, have it make a fucking
prosthetics.
prosthetic thing, make a
Always.
animatronic thing? It can't be that expensive to make
it's
an
not that
animatronic
expensive,
animal.
It's just so much more time consuming. Have you seen The Thing, the original? Or John Carpenter's The Thing?
It's been so long since
That is the, like, if you're talking about prosthetics and just animatronics, that is the best movie. It still looks great.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was in the 79, 80s.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's one of the best horror as far as prosthetics.
I'll have
You
to
need go check it
I'll
out
have to go
again.
rewatch
Not
like
the
some
remake
clips.
that came out in like 2010.
Yeah.
Do not watch that one.
Yeah, because I maintain that animatronics should make a fucking comeback and add some CG elements to it.
Yeah.
I forget what movie did that recently, and it was incredible.
Star Wars?
Was it Star Wars?
Because he went back into a lot more.
But
suits
yeah,
and
let's take
prosthetics.
Star Wars for example. He didn't want to rely so much on CG because back then they didn't rely on CG.
They didn't have it.
They didn't have it back
No.
then, so they had to be a little bit more creative. I think a lot more people should, and yes, it might be more time consuming, but if you are
just
able to
makes it
pull
that
it off,
much
and it
better.
makes it more realistic, it's real. Because when I see the monster in Stranger Things, I'm sorry, I love that show, but that monster is fucking terrible. It takes it out of it for me, and the only thing that saves it is that
the
everything
characters,
else in
yeah.
the show is perfect.
So good.
You know, but that monster, man, that monster's
So
not
you're
good,
not talking
man.
about the second season monster.
Well,
You might be. I think you are a little bit.
yeah, it's around the same amount of CG quality.
I got you. Okay, spoiler alert. So if you're listening, skip ahead if you don't want to hear anything. Does it end where there's going to be a third season?
Oh yeah, for
Okay.
sure. But not as cliffhangery.
As the first season?
Yeah. So it leaves it. The only thing that kind of leaves it up in for a season 3 is the introduction of some new characters.
Okay.
And so they kind of appear out of nowhere, and then you're like, "Oh, where is that person again?" And you realize
They're going to have
they're
to
gonna
wrap it up soon, though, because you're not going to be like, oh, the kids are 22.
Yeah, and I think
in
that's what
college.
they're trying to do as far as not leaving it so cliffhangery. Because in the first season, it was
Yeah, it's
very
like,
much season
They're
2
still
is coming.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know what's happening, but it's coming.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I implore Stranger Things people, please start investing in animatronics now.
Yeah.
And I mean, because it kind of it's not, I'm sorry, it disappoints me. It disappoints me, especially when in season 2 you've already become a huge hit.
You've got the money for
You've
it.
got the money for it. You now have negotiating power with Netflix. Negotiate the hell out of making some animatronic stuff mixed with CG.
Or just go straight prosthetics. Don't do any Any CG.
I think you can do some. You can use the level of computer graphics that we have because it is impressive. Because it is impressive if you Avatar. You watch Avatar and after a while you really think that those people are real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who's JSP fighting tonight?
Michael Bisping, the reigning middleweight.
Could be either or.
I think it's middleweight. I'm not sure. But the fight I'm really excited for is TJ Dillashaw versus Cody Garbrandt.
Undercard?
They're the co-main event.
Okay.
Yeah, and this rivalry has gone on for the last year, and they do not like each other.
They've been talking it up.
Oh man, they do not like each
That's
other.
That's what I love about it. I love watching them sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you pay attention, like I have throughout this entire year, TJ and Cody were training partners at one point in the same gym, Team Alpha Male, and TJ and the owner of the gym, Uriah Faber, had a falling out because TJ's coach and Uriah Faber didn't like each other. So TJ left with his coach, and that pissed off Uriah. And then all this he said, she said kind of bullshit started happening and brings up the drama. And so Dana White was like, okay, I will put you guys on the next season of The Ultimate Fighter. And that was an awesome season of The Ultimate Fighter.
I have not watched
because it's legit. It was legit drama. Nothing was written or rehearsed. It was, these guys do not like each other. At one point, Cody grabs TJ by the neck, and I'm like, that wasn't scripted. Yeah. TJ and Cody didn't like sit in the back room and say to each other, so what's going to happen is that we're going to sit in the hallway. Before we go outside, you're going to grab me by the neck, and I'm going to push it off, and then we're going to have this
and
huge...
if we don't get it right, we're going to go back and do it again.
No, that was a legit thing that happened.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the fight, and TJ is one of my favorite fighters to watch because he's very loose. He has really interesting Matrix-like movement, but Cody Garbrandt is younger, and his hands are like Mike Tyson's.
What division they in?
Bantamweight, 135.
Okay. Oh, I love seeing the little guys fight.
So yeah, they and they're so fast, they're so quick, and it's so much more exciting.
So fun to watch.
Yeah, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Rose Namajunas, I want to say is her last name. And Joanna Jędrzejczyk is one of the best strikers in men or women's division. She's just lightning quick.
I'll try and find a legal stream of it somewhere.
Well, I'm watching it tonight. If you want to come over tonight and watch it,
do that. Depends on what time the game ends.
The main card starts at 9.
Okay.
Tonight. So
I'll shoot you a text.
Yeah.
You down?
I think my buddy Marcus is coming over to watch it too.
Sounds good.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. All right, man. I think we're good.
I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
Let's do this again.
Thanks for coming over, talking some games, nerd stuff, and then
politics, a little Tom Delonge, a little UFOs.
Yeah. We went down a couple rabbit holes here.
Everything, dude.
Yeah, I checked it all off. Thank you, Levi, for coming.
Appreciate it, Shane.
We'll do this next time.
Let's do it.
Yeah.